I Hogan or the what? I got half. Which one do you want? Hulk Hogan? Okay. Wow. Okay, so you asked for it, you getting it. Okay. So I got another I got the video out with Michael Rappaport and yeah, that's for you. But did you hear about the White Howard ticket just put it out about the whites and allegedly he drugged up the ex-wife soon to be. That was like, oh God. Oh. Yeah, he be tripping. You know, Chris Carter and Scottie Pippen, I'm starting to think they the same person because they be saying some crazy stuff. And I be looking at Chris Carter sideways. Yeah, the White Howard. I just saw it on ticket. Yeah, the white got some ish, man. You know, I mean, they just let him back into the plantation. They just let him back. He acting all crazy because you know he'll never get top 75, and they know he abandoned. They know he diddy in it and fleecing it. I tell you. You didn't see what he said about Ocho? He called him overrated. Then he came out with his top five. He said Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Megatron. Then he said, I think myself and then Larry Fitzgerald. I said, ain't nobody ever put you top five. I didn't do a video about that though. I didn't do a video about that because I was thinking about it. But he just be saying just the most. I mean, he be saying the most. Chris Carter be saying the most. Yeah, I mean, he said Jerry Rice, T.O. He said Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Megatron. Then he said T.O. And then he said, "What's up?" Then he said, "Oh, me," and maybe Larry Fitzgerald. Oh yeah, they got into it because it was Ocho. Yeah, I did a video about that already. What's happening? Hey, how you doing? And Charlene, good to see you. I'm gonna be on for 30 minutes. I got a quick. I wanted to do like a quick one today. It's a quick hitter because I gotta go. But I wanted to come on real quick. I'll be on tomorrow though. Cause you know why? Because Terry Bradshaw was never respected as that dude. See, there are guys who always get off my lawn, and when we played, right, he got 4 rings and he's got TV career and some movies, but he was never that dude. He was never loved like Starbucks. Joe Namath carries as much clout as he does. Uh, yeah, I will fish them. Like I said, some things I can say on here, some things it all depends. I mean, some of the music ones, or I'll make them into a video. If I don't put them on here, I'll make them into videos. So keep on sending stuff. But some things will have to be video form, unless, of course, I decide to figure out how to operate Patreon and I can get people over there and we can really, or we go somewhere, I get a site going. Because some things I got to be very cool with. I, I do got I forgot what I'm. No, he wasn't. No, he could punt the ball. He threw the ball like a human Q-tip. No, he wasn't. Danny White wasn't that good, man. I remember Danny White very well because he almost lost his job to a guy named Gary Hokelboom before you were born. Hokelboom had a better arm. That was a big controversy in '84. Now Danny White threw that ball all soft and freely, and Danny White did get the three straight NFC Championship games. But this is the Dallas Cowboys we're talking about. We ain't talking about a Rudy Pooty team. He never got to the big one. Of course it is. I talk about it all the time. How you think America gets over? How you think the world gets over? Talk about they broke and what they ain't got. Yeah, if you can benefit off of give a people a head start with money, yeah, you never get over that. If your ancestors, people tell you stories about Jim Crow, see, I'll say it like this: we can say what we want about Africa and everything, etc. Right? But when you come over to a place and they still want to mentally lock you up and change, locking you up mentally is worse than the physical because mentally they say you don't fit 400, 400, because they came to Virginia. Do the math, get up breaking off with Britain in 1833, or forget about 1865, 1964. They did. 1964, the Civil Rights Bill is when you technically been almost considered when you consider that you got a chance to work. So we're talking 61 years. We're not talking so when people talk this talk, you know. So all of it. All of it. But you're a brainwasher. Yeah, you are. Well, if you allow yourself to be. If you don't ever challenge the status quo, if you don't ever, you go to school, you go to places where they institutionalize systematic you, they make you feel inferior, and no one tells you nothing. That's why they have always done things to make you feel inferior. It's on purpose. And that's why you got to be careful when you watch these TVs and these programs because people ain't going to tell you who you are. He hurt, but they hurt. The team is hurt. They're not that good. They're not that good. Even if he's playing, they're not that good. Their juice is not there. I don't know if they're missing Soto or not, but they're just not a good team right now to my liking. Boston's on our behind for the last wild card, and I mean, it sucks. They're not that good. I told you, I don't get excited until you talk to me in September, October. Don't get excited. And they're not even good enough to flip right now. Aaron Boone's butt should be on the hot seat. Shoot. Toronto is balling. Milwaukee looks like the best team going in baseball right now. I'm keeping an eye on what's up. I ain't going off of past and I ain't going off of feelings. I'm going off of facts. Sure. Yeah, true that. Well, yeah, because his butt's gonna get ejected. That's what's gonna happen. Shoot, they suck right now. I ain't feeling it. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm hot when I be looking it up. They not that good. I know Cody Bellinger came along and all that, but they're not a top tier team. Toronto's playing better. They win a few games, but they're not consistent. They're not good. They're just not good. They got as much talent as Houston's got, and they're not performing. So even if Aaron Judge goes out, you still got Giancarlo Bellinger, but the pitching ain't consistent, and they getting waxed. Got waxed by Philadelphia. Not feeling it. They just don't have they just missing something, and yeah, it's very toxic. I'm all about that too. I feel the same way, Charlene. I've had to part with a lot of because they ain't no wise heads don't come and tell you facts. They want you to just kind of like go along, get along. Yeah, yeah. Boone ain't winning no. Tory won. We you can sit there and Earl Weaver it up with the best of them, and Bobby Cox with the best of them. If you ain't bringing no W's home, it don't mean nothing. Protecting them from what? Can't protect them from giving no 3-run shots. Shoot, it's nice that he's a rah rah dude. You know good and well George Steinbrenner would have fired him 5 different ways. Steinbrenner would be haunting his behind just like Epstein's haunting Trump's behind right now. You know this. Could be because he said some things. I talked to my uncle and we were talking about that last night. He think Jamal said there may have been some more to it. Now they never want you to hear them because that's how life has always been. It's about the beat. And then get something like hip hop is a metaphor for exactly that. Oh yeah, there might be more to Jamal. Could be a lot more to it. You gotta remember he was the most successful person associated with the Cosby show of the kids. And you never know. And I wouldn't put nothing past nobody. Would I be surprised if someone did something slick? I wouldn't be, you know. Because you at least expect someone because you might think about him economical wealth, but then that don't mean nothing because cats that you don't think could be a problem or a problem. Just like Aaron Carter and Matthew Perry and Bob Skagit. That stuff don't add up either. I'm telling you, there's a lot of this suspect stuff. And what it is usually people you wouldn't assume got the juice, got the tea on stuff. And then that is like, oh, be surprised. Because this world is very small than you think. And Malcolm may have had something. I mean, no, he probably did know dimes. Because he spoke out about hip hop. I know that for a fact. He didn't like that's why he stopped listening to J. Cole. He didn't like the lyrical language. So. And they don't want you saying nothing that messes up their quota, you know. Tell you all the time, you can't be too black with stuff. You especially in them mm-mm. And he paid his dues, but he earned his keep, but he paid his dues. I wouldn't put nothing past nothing. Not the way I think. Not what I seen. Mm. But now don't worry, I got more videos. I got some more stuff I got coming out that if you saw what I put out already, I got more. Because when I go live next time, I'm gonna talk about that Ice Cube Caitlin Clark thing. I'm gonna definitely tap into that. That video is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. I think I did it. I think do that project. If I didn't do it, it's coming. Think I did. Well, that'll probably be tomorrow. Um, for you. That's the way it's lingering effect. You already know about the whips and stuff, but yeah, he should have gotten a score a touchdown. That's why Mike Dicker looks suspect. He did all that rubbing on and didn't finish. Yeah, but it's meant to linger to you, and it's to break you. That's what we talk about back breaking, and we get you. We make you feel inferior, you know, and that's how they get you. And people succumb to that, and then that's a mindset that becomes somehow normalized. That's the sad part of it. So, well, he had a right to be because it was he was near the end of his career. He paid dues, man. See, He didn't have no Caleb Williams quarterback or he had scrub Jim McMahon. They sucked. He used to have to carry the whole offense. He was a one-man team. I'm gonna tell you a story because I don't know, before your time, but I'll tell you this story. It took Peyton almost. I kid you not, at least 3 or 4, 'cause had the respect of the Shire, yo. I'm telling you, Peyton got the respect of the Shire. Probably did, cause they made a mockery with the fridge. They tore New England's behind up. I remember that game like yesterday. It was over. All of it's tied to that because if you gotta calculate the money you put your hands on with them dead prez is a reminder of that. Auction you off. Every law they got is a reflection of that. What you think 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment is? And if you don't know, look up the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. That's it right there. That's all tied to that. What they're doing with the deportation, ICE, and all that stuff is all tied. They all stay with one foot firmly in the past and one foot sideways to act like they're not acknowledging the past except when convenient. So it's all connected. It's all connected. See, I just sit there, let them tell them stories, so they make you think like, oh, we all y'all dwells, you all that. But who's the one who brings the Confederate flag? Who the one finds it in their heart to always want to be that? Like, I got the video coming out soon about that place in Arkansas, like the only place. So I'm telling you, stuff is real. So it's there, you know. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay. Just real quick. I can't say nothing until I see something. I mean, they got to solve the go against the ground, figure out how to kidnap Patrick Mahomes in the postseason, and Sean McDermott got to do a better job of finishing up. I don't know how many more chances he gonna get as a head coach. You've been to two FC championship games. You lost the same team 4 or 5 times. I mean, look, man, you either a big time coach or you ain't. So the jury gonna be out. But uh, Josh got married. We're gonna see what happens. They tried the slow route, that didn't work. The fast route don't work. I think they need to make a coach change. That's what I say. I think they're a top 5 team to legitimacy, but something is missing to finish to seal the deal. And you can't lose but so many more ways. So I don't know. I've seen it before, but I mean, she has a strong fan base. I got people I know who are diehards of her, but it's always paid like that because it's a double standard. We already know. But he should be asking about how his coach doesn't achieve. That's the thing. Because Sean McDermott's butt should be on the hot seat. I'm the one of the few Bill fans that's gonna actually say that. People don't like it as a Bills fan for me to say that I miss Marv Lee. Marv Lee would have figured out how to beat Kansas City by now. He'd have figured out how to get to a Super Bowl. Cause I mean, you can't keep blowing the way you lost. You lost them 4 different ways, drop balls, missed out field goals, 13 seconds. Just way you lose. Then you got punched in the mouth by Cincinnati. That was embarrassing. Choked that game against Houston. I mean, like, how many more ways you gonna keep losing every year in the postseason? I mean, he's an average record in the postseason. So I mean, like, but how long you gonna get opportunities? That's why I say soon. I mean, if they gonna turn coaches, how long gonna give coaches like a 20 year? Yeah, he got his back in the postseason, but how we're almost a decade deep, and we ain't got. I mean, I'm for real. I mean, he done lost to what? Kansas City 4 times, Houston once, Cincinnati once. So what? He's like 7-6. Shoot, like come on, man, you gotta step your game up. You know, and some of the postseason games haven't been that good. They haven't looked that good. So, uh, well, I think she did that as kind of for arm candy. I don't know if there's anything. Michael B. Jordan don't strike me like the cat that's gonna get married before he's 45. I just don't see it, especially now. But of course, he ain't gonna want to hear about that. I know it's got to be the biggest box office draw going right now. You kind of can't, like I always tell you about, don't let a ring go out the door. Well, Michael B. Jordan, you kind of can't escape him right about now because if he does Creed 18 and Black Panther 35, the cat's gonna be around for another 5 years of top draw. So you won't. He's and that's no shade, but that's just a fact. Michael B. Jordan be bringing them tickets in. He's ticket man. Even though I still think his acting chops, he's gotten better, but he ain't that dude yet. You know. Oh yeah, of course. But Reggie had that S curl, light skin had them green eyes, and yeah, no, I mean he did the competition. And Reggie, I mean Jordan was petty. Sent his butt to Saudi Arabia, got traded to Sacramento when they really stunk. I mean when they internet, you only had on what happened. And the Bulls weren't exactly anything to write home about. But well, he got sent to Sacramento. It was like, oh Lord, where's that at? That's how we used to think. Before you came in the world, and before we had social media, man, look, if you also had access, you'd be like, oh wow, you were way over there. People still say that too, by the way, but they really said it back then. You were way over there. Where you at? I can't even find you on the map. Yeah, you wanted to send some juice to him. But Reggie got him a job at Howard. Still got a little S curl, look like a deacon. Got that Clifton Davis stay soft fro curl, amen era with the blue suits. I seen him on recently. Juanita was what we call it. She was the bougie, she was the buppy, the platters. But say that for a video. I mean, again, I'll address yours on that. I'll say that on another one. Oh yeah, he got it. I do iconic ones, but I'll say it for a video for a future one. He got something going on, but I know one thing: Howard's a janky school. I know that for a fact. Yeah, when you talk about iconic, there's a difference between I listen to the dramatics more, but the platters, I mean, you know, that's huge because those songs are still played like crazy under the boardwalk and all that. I mean, and sometimes you can kind of just tell. But remember, iconic is different than what you prefer or what's even better because iconic means it carries more a different weight. That's why I was getting discussions about people because it means something totally. If you happen to like somebody, that's cool. But okay, I got about 6 more minutes before I got to get on up. I thought about it. I didn't do that cube one. Well, it means that they carry more lineage. It's like legendary. Like for instance, if you came up to me and you said, who was more iconic, like you said Michael Jackson, Usher. So I saw it too. I caught a little bit of it. I caught his wife. He met his wife. I saw the snippets of Ichiro. Ichiro speaking English now. That probably was the most mind blowing thing I think I saw was Ichiro spoke in English. because he had the translator for like 80 years. Yeah, but I don't blame him for mentioning it. I mean, it's a sad reality because brothers didn't get the opportunity. Oh, the spinners. I'm gonna have to do a video about that too. Yeah, right. He had the interpreter when he was in Seattle forever and a day. That was funny. That's what Shohei got. Man, look, if I ever learn to speak another language fluently, I know what job to get. I know what job to get. You do too. Oh, it's still the song. Could it be I'm far still I still listen to that far more. It's still the song. Could it be I'm far still I still listen to I lived there, man. I don't have to make this up. I lived there, man. So go back to 2007. They were a wild card team. And I forgot who it was he got into it with, but they ended up the pitcher. I forgot who it was, but that was like the real crack in it. And when they they tolerated him because he was stat padding at 200 hits and he was great talent, but they had a chance to be a wild card team, and I forgot who it was he got into it with. Something, and it was a big deal because you don't look at him because he seems like a light little man, and he don't speak your language, and so you don't think that he'd be a problem. I forgot who it was who tipped my cap to it, but yeah, man, I found that out, and then they tanked the rest of that season because that manager got fired, and they were pretty good that year. And the next thing you know, Ichiro had them all out the dodo. So what happened was when he came up for a contract, I think it was 2010 or 11, they said, "See ya." They pieced him out. That's what I heard. Cause that's why he ended up with the Yankees and Detroit. And if you remember his last few years, he was with the Marlins. No one even tripped on his career. Because his I and I remember that because that was the first time I had paid it any mind. Cause with the Mariners, they gonna choke and suck usually. And then when I saw that, I said, "Oh wow, yeah." They are was average, and they just didn't. But yeah, he was a real yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot who pulled my coat to it too, cause but yeah, it was blatant because I forgot who it was because he got into it with a pitch. It was somebody he got a manager or something, and I think the guy said, "Hey, you speak English now?" And then he got the interpreter. Next thing you know, the guy got fired. I forgot, but it was something crazy. But and then that's all. I don't know what happened, but Ichiro. So he was something else though. But they never did attract nobody there when he played. Because when Griffey came back, Griffey was an old man. He was just kind of finish out his days. So they never did get it because they squandered Freddie Garcia. And then when they brought Felix Hernandez, Felix was on, but Ichiro was old man and done with that. So I'm trying to remember, but yeah, never, yeah. But yeah, the intruders. Because the floaters just had the one big hit and another song. And I dare you to come up with the second hit. But everybody know the intruders. The intruders had it. Even though Float On is like one of them songs, I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't come up with but one song, that's a song that you can take with you for life. Oh yeah, I remember it very well because they got into it, and then he said he wasn't, and he wasn't giving it up. And Steinbrenner is about selling jerseys because Steinbrenner said, if "You win here and you're bigger." Jeter was on, yeah, and they fell out, and I think it involved some chick too. I ain't for sure, but A Rod was always a diva, and yeah, no. It was always something. There's a lot of stuff going on. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. Only people didn't know was people weren't paying no mind, but they knew. When they fell out, but A-Rod didn't have the same mindset as Jeter too, and I think that's another thing too, because Jeter didn't think A-Rod was all about baseball, because A-Rod was chasing skirts though. So was Jeter, but he was more low key with his thing. He should have. He was just stat padding to get to 3,000 hits because he fell off, and I don't know if that pushed him back 5 years. I don't know, but I mean, they retired him, but they hung on in there. So I don't know, but I'm just saying. But anyway, I gotta get rid of Raw. And I'm gonna probably check on my bird. Let's try to be on. I'll be on tomorrow though. Yeah, she was sloppy. She was 304 streets because he messed behind Madonna too. A, sh- a big brother to him. A lot of ways. He got a lot off of Conseco. He got a lot off Conseco. Because Conseco was the first marketing one. Think about it. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.